Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so we got some storms coming through here. We're under a tornado watch. It's probably the internet's not running as fast as it should. Um, so 5 by 5, awesome. Thank you guys. So it's great to see everybody in here. We're under a tornado watch right now. Um, so I'm going to get started with some of the breaking news. I wanted to just go live because I haven't had a chance to go live this week, but I want to share with you guys something. We have a bunch of nuclear war command and control planes in the air right now. So let me put that on the screen here. Um, let's see here. Put this on the screen. So right now we have two nuclear war command and control planes in the air, okay, which is pretty unusual for this time of night and on a weekend. And then there was one in the air earlier. And then the past couple of days, just a massive amount of doomsday planes, both in the US and also in Poland. Poland has been flying their doomsday planes, but we have two E6 Mercuries right now in the air. And then there was one in the air this afternoon that took off from Stratcom. Okay, so here's one of them currently doing loops near Houston, near College Station. Is there anybody out there watching from College Station, Texas? You have a nuclear war communications relay plane flying over your area doing loops. So these planes can remotely launch our Minuteman III ICBMs, and they communicate with our submerged nuclear armed subs. Usually you have at least one of them in the air every day or every second day. But today there were three of them in the air so far. And then here we have another one that came out of Oklahoma, Tinker Air Base. That's their home base, Oklahoma City. And it looks like it's going out to the Pacific. So when these things are out in the ocean, that's when they're communicating. And then, like this one here, you can see that it's doing this tight banking turn. And the reason why it's doing that is it's dropping a trailing wire antenna. They have a short and a long trailing wire antenna. And the best way to think of it is like a fishing reel, like a deep sea fishing reel. They reel out this antenna from the back of the plane, and it's a mile long. And so, for them to use it to communicate, they have to fly in this like circular pattern or elliptical pattern. So, this way, that trailing antenna can be as vertical as possible. And then they can send out the VLF signals, very low frequency. Okay. And the reason why they use very low frequency is that's what can penetrate through the ocean to communicate with our Ohio class subs. All right, so this E6 here is communicating with probably one of our ballistic missile submarines. Okay, our SSBNs, subsurface ballistic nuclear Ohio class subs. Each one carries 20 Trident missiles. Each Trident missile can carry up to 12 500 kiloton warheads. Massive amount of firepower. Just one of our Ohio class subs can literally bring about the apocalypse by itself. And we have 14 of them. And we used to have 24 missiles on each one. And because of Obama, we cut that down to 20 on each one, unfortunately. Um, And then here's the other one here. Looks like it might be going to Travis Air Force Base. I'm not totally sure. It looks like it's going lower now. But let me show you the one that was in the air earlier. Here we have the one that was in the air earlier. It took off from Offutt Air Base, that's Strategic Command. And you can see it was flying over Montana near the missile field over there. Okay, there's a missile field there. So it's pretty concerning. There's a lot of stuff going on, guys. A lot of stuff going on. And then all these doomsday planes that have been in the air the past couple of days. We had, American doomsday planes, Polish doomsday planes. So, let me see here. I want to share with you guys some of the Polish doomsday planes in case you missed my updates. Here's the Polish doomsday plane, or Polish Air Force One. It flew just north of Warsaw, and it was doing loops just north of Warsaw, and it did that twice this week. Okay, 2 times. I've never seen this before in Poland, and I've been monitoring their airspace with these flight trackers for the past, since the war started. I've been monitoring every day, and I haven't seen this yet. And there were 2 of these Air Force Ones, Polish Air Force Ones, that were flying this week, doing this same pattern, just flying, taking off from Warsaw, and then doing loops just north of Warsaw. And what was interesting about this one was earlier today. It had a Polish Marine One that was accompanying it. So let me show you guys that. Here's the Polish Marine One. It looks just like Marine One, but it's just a Polish version, basically. And it was flying right behind the the Polish Air Force One, and they were doing these loops here. So very, very concerning, guys. And then Poland is in the process of preparing for their largest armed forces parade ever since the Cold War, actually. And it's going to kick off in 3 days. They're going to have a massive parade where they showcase all of their equipment. And here's a picture from Warsaw, and you can see a bunch of tanks. They're already preparing for this parade, showcasing like hundreds and hundreds of tanks and various types of equipment. Poland moved 10,000 troops to the border with Belarus. Just a couple of days ago, they said they were going to do that. So, things are really, really escalating, guys. I mean, things are really getting serious now. And, Biden is asking for billions more dollars in emergency aid for Ukraine, which I can only guess would be because maybe they need more stuff to do their counteroffensive, because so far the counteroffensive hasn't really been too eventful. And I'm not trying to insult the Ukrainians, obviously. I'm just stating a fact. It hasn't really been super eventful. Like everybody thought there was going to be this massive, counterattack. I thought they were going to do it this summer. Doesn't look like that counterattack is going to happen now. So Biden is asking for emergency aid now. So very interesting situation unfolding. Let me just share some stuff here with you guys. By the way, if you want to donate, I know a lot of people like to send the super chats. If you're going to donate, use my PayPal, okay? Because PayPal doesn't take 30% of your donations. So if you want to support me, I appreciate the super chats, definitely. But if you're going to give a substantial amount, like, more than $10 or something, you're better off sending it to my PayPal, because YouTube takes 30% of any donations you guys give to me through this chat. So if you're going to give like $10, YouTube's going to take $3 out of that, and pocket it. Yeah, 30%, Sami. That's right, 30%. Yeah, they take 30%. So if you're interested in donating, I recommend my PayPal just because they won't take 30%. Sean Swanson, thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. Hi, all. Sorry getting in late. Any ideas on the Hawaii fires? They seem a bit odd if you look at the videos. Um, yeah, the Hawaii fires definitely a serious situation. I haven't really had time to look into it. There's just been so much going on. I haven't had a chance to like research it that much. But there's all kinds of theories floating around about how they started and stuff. And I have to be careful what I say here on YouTube. I can't say my true feelings, because they would label that misinformation. So I can't just tell you guys, yeah, it was this, it was that. I have to watch what I say. But, as you guys know me, by now that I always question the official narrative. Um, Mr. Landfill, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I really appreciate that. And thanks for supporting me for so long. And, thanks for always supporting me. Mama of Six, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I appreciate you. You're an awesome person. And, you've been supporting me a while. So thank you very much. So let me just read this article to you guys. We have a little bit of an update coming out of Poland. And so the Polish defense minister says that the reinforcement of the Polish border with Belarus is due to hostile rhetoric and actions. So here we have some pictures of Polish troops. This was in Poland today. Okay, they attended a press conference with the Minister of Defense of Poland. So these are actually, I'm guessing, some of those Polish troops that might be going to the border. They probably are. So here they are. Those are the Polish troops going to the border. Here's the Polish Defense Minister, the guy with the black shirt on. So 10,000 troops going to the Belarus border. Looks like. I can't tell. Oh no, that looks like this guy could be an American here. I can't tell. Um, and it wasn't just the 10,000 troops that Poland moved to the border. A few weeks ago, they also moved all of the armored vehicles. They moved like hundreds of infantry fighting vehicles to the border. So it's a serious movement. It's a massive amount of troops. So let me just read to you this article from the Associated Press. Poland's defense minister said Saturday that the country has increased the number of troops protecting its border with Belarus as a deterrent amid destabilizing actions by its pro-Russian neighbor. Mariusz Błaszczak met in Jarylówka in eastern Poland with some of the troops recently deployed close to the Belarus border. He insisted that the increased military presence is purely a deterrent move, not a hostile act, as Minsk and Moscow are claiming. There is no doubt that the Belarus regime is cooperating with the Kremlin and that the attacks on the Polish border are intended to destabilize our country. 2 Belarus military helicopters briefly entered Poland's airspace last week, a move considered by Warsaw to be a deliberate provocation. So, what's interesting is we haven't really heard much about, from NATO. NATO hasn't really said anything about Belarus violating Poland's airspace. I mean, they sent 2 helicopters into Poland. They flew a couple of miles into Poland, and NATO's been very quiet about it. So, I personally don't really trust NATO that much as far as relying on them to, back up some of these countries like Poland, for instance. I just don't trust them. I mean, look at how slow it's been for them to give equipment to Ukraine. Um, so they haven't said anything about it, which is concerning. It shows weakness. It shows that NATO is basically not that effective. You know, Cheryl Wilson says Poland has to protect themselves. That's exactly right. They do. Um, but NATO is showing weakness here by backing down to Russia all the time. I mean, do you think Putin is afraid of NATO? I mean, I'm sure he probably thinks NATO is weak and timid, and so it's just a very concerning time right now. We have a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, those fires in Maui are crazy. The death toll just keeps going up. I think last I checked, it was like 80 or 90 people, dead, which is really sad. Um, everybody's blaming it on global warming. I don't think that's what it is. We're actually currently in an El Nino, and in an El Nino, you have those types of dry conditions in certain parts of the world. So it's not abnormal. It's just the El Nino, and they're trying to blow this thing up to be like, oh, this is all because of global warming, and it's just a part of the natural cycle. The ocean has cycles. It goes from El Nino to La Nina, back and forth, and right now we're in a strong El Nino. So you're going to see stuff like that because during El Ninos you have a lot of dry weather. You have droughts, and right now there's excessive heat warnings in the southeastern U.S., the Gulf Coast states. Look at all these excessive heat warnings. You got northern Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all these states here under excessive heat warnings. Look at that. Absolutely crazy conditions. Temperatures over 100 degrees Fahrenheit with humidity, and the temperature's not really dropping at all at night. So, um, very serious conditions. Let me just check some of these areas here. Here we have heat index values over 110 degrees in the Texarkana area, Shreveport. Look at this, guys. 110 degrees heat index values. Absolutely insane. Look at these high temperatures tomorrow. 104 degrees in Shreveport. 99 degrees in Texarkana. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. And at night, the temperature's not even going below 80. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy, guys. So, just make sure that you're staying cool if you live in those areas. Sean Swanson, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. Both sides are mining the fields. In your opinion, how long will it take to be safe for normal folks and farmers to be able to get back to normal and be safe? Well, I can tell you that in Poland, just the other day, they had to evacuate an entire town, thousands of people, because of an undetonated shell from World War II. Okay, World War II. They're still in Poland, in Germany, all across Europe. They still find undetonated shells from World War II every now and then. It's a very common thing, and they have to call in a bomb squad and evacuate an area. So unfortunately, those mines are going to stay there for 100 years or more. They're not going to be able to take all those mines out. They might take 50% of them, or maybe 70, 80%, but then you're still going to have 20% of those mines that are not, you just can't demine that much land, and then you think about not just the anti-tank mines are not the ones you really have to worry about if you're a civilian. if you're a farmer, then you have to worry about the anti-tank mines, because the anti-tank mines, they don't go off unless you put like a couple 100 pounds of pressure on them. Um, but the anti-personnel mines, those are the ones that are going to do a lot of damage to civilians. Unfortunately, kids, pets, you know, it's a really sad situation. Aaron Kirby says everything happening right now is prophesied in the Bible. Faith in Jesus will save you from what's coming. I agree 100%. It's all in the Bible, guys. Everything that's going on now is it's all in the Bible. I mean, the book. Look at the book of Revelation. Um, you know, the Gog and Magog alliance is forming, and it's already here. It's just getting stronger and stronger now. And then the other day, Russia accused the United States of locking on to some Russian fighter jets that are in Syria. I mean, Syria is now basically a territory of Russia. I mean, that's like straight out of the Bible, guys. The Bible says that, all those Middle Eastern countries like Syria, Iran, and then some North African countries, they're all going to come together with Russia and attack Israel. And it's like happening right in front of our eyes. This alliance is taking shape. And I mean, look at Iran. Iran is getting so much equipment from Russia. Russia sending nuclear scientists there, probably giving them nuclear material so they can build nuclear weapons. So that's straight out of the Bible, guys. You just look up Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39. Iran and Russia form an alliance, and then they go after Israel in the latter days. And Iran and Russia right now, I mean, they're like really close allies, So, they're supplying weapons to Iran, everything. So yeah, it's all in the Bible, 100%. It's all in the Bible. So we just have to make sure we're preparing ourselves as best as possible. Kin Koi says, I have to go. People are coming over. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Kin Koi. I hope you have a great weekend as well. I hope you enjoy your company. And NYPrepper, I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while on the chat here. I hope everything's going well over there. Is it true that El Nino causes more extreme weather, but I'm concerned the ice caps are melting? No, I mean, El Nino doesn't cause more extreme weather. It's just a different type of extreme weather. It's like apples and oranges. You can't compare. You can't say that El Nino causes more extreme weather, and it's like La Ninas. They cause a lot of Arctic intrusions. They cause a lot of flooding and tornadoes and hurricanes. So you could actually argue that a La Nina is worse than an El Nino, because during La Ninas you have more Atlantic hurricanes that affect the eastern seaboard of the U.S., which is a very populated area. Then you have nor'easters in the winter in the Northeast, which are basically like winter hurricanes. You have Arctic outbreaks in Europe and North America. Tornado outbreaks in North America, flooding. So you could even argue that La Nina is even worse than El Nino. El Nino usually just causes like droughts and higher temperatures. When there's an El Nino, you usually have higher global temperatures, because the La Nina, what it does is it causes the cold water from the bottom of the ocean to upwell, and that colder water that upwells cools down the globe, basically. But when that upwelling stops, like during an El Nino, there's no upwelling, so the global temperature goes up a little bit, So a lot of the climate change people, they're jumping on this and saying, oh, look, it's global warming. It's causing the Maui fires and everything. And that's not true. It's just we're in an El Nino, and we happen to be in one of the strongest El Ninos in many, many years. And actually, I'll try to show that to you guys. And that's why the temperatures, everybody's saying that the global temperatures are higher. It's because we're in a strong El Nino. Let me see if I can find some information here, show you guys what's going on. Let's see here. So here's the NOAA's weekly El Nino Southern Oscillation outlook, which they talk about the El Nino La Nina conditions, and we're currently under an El Nino advisory. Um, Let me just show you guys something here. Scroll down. Okay, so here we have like the last 12 years. Okay, so all these blue squares are La Ninas, and then the red squares are El Nino conditions. Okay, so you can see that the last strong El Nino we had was 2015 into 2016. Okay, the winter of 2015 going into 2016, we had a very strong El Nino. It was actually 2.2 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, 2.6 degrees Celsius above normal. Okay, the sea surface temperatures, which is very, very high. So that was a very strong El Nino in 2015. So that was 8 years ago. Okay, 8 years ago was the last strong El Nino. So, we're overdue. I mean, we had like a weaker one. There was a very weak El Nino in 2018 and 2019, but it was very weak. So we haven't had a strong El Nino in 8 years, guys. So it's normal. It's a cycle. In the last 3 years, we had La Ninas. Look at this. From 2020 till now, it was all La Ninas. You see all the blue squares here? Um, you know, and then on the top, you have your months. You have January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Um, so, that's just what I think. I could be wrong, but, um, and then many people believe we're in a grand solar minimum, which I think is very possible. I think we're also potentially in a grand solar minimum right now. There's supposed to be a Perseid meteor shower this weekend. The Perseids are usually in August. So unfortunately, it's bad weather here tonight, so I can't go outside and watch. But I'm definitely going to try to watch tomorrow night. The best time to watch them is like late at night before dawn. But you can watch them all night long. They can be pretty they can be pretty active. You can see a lot of them. You just need to get to an area that doesn't have a lot of light pollution and just look up at the sky, and you'll see those Perseids. Yeah, we are in a solar maximum right now. So the sun has a cycle, and we're in the solar maximum part of it, right? We're in the maximum part of that 12-year cycle. So we're going to have a lot of uh, coronal mass ejections and stuff. There was an X-class solar flare um, this past week. So that was pretty crazy. Luckily, it wasn't facing us. It was just off to the edge of the sun. So it wasn't a direct hit, but there's a good chance that one of these solar flares could connect sometime in the next few months. Here's the latest sunspot count. So you can see that, we're basically at solar max right now. But you can see that we're still lower than the last. The last solar cycle was weak. We're like probably a little bit stronger than the last solar cycle, but we're still weaker than solar cycle 23. So we should reach. We're probably at maximum right now, and the next 6 months or so, the next year, we're going to be in a maximum state, and then it's going to ramp down. So if you live in like the mid latitudes, there's a good chance you could see auroras um, the next few months. A couple of months ago, there was one that went all the way down to South Carolina in Charleston, which is insane. So, there's definitely going to be more opportunities for seeing auroras if you live in, you know, the northern part of the U.S. or even like the middle part of the U.S. Mid latitudes. There's still a good chance you're going to be able to see something. And if there's any auroras forecasted, I'll definitely let you guys know. Um, so don't forget to shut your phone off on October 4th. Why? What's going on October 4th? What's going on then? They got the colors wrong. El Nino should be blue. La Nina should be red. As far as I know, La Nina, they do it blue because blue is like cooler. Blue is like a cooler color, so they're showing that it's blue because it's a cooler color. And El Nino is red because it's red is like considered warmer. That's why they do that. Yeah, the solar flares are getting crazy. Martin or Matt Stout says the news says you could see over 100 shooting stars an hour. Yeah, that sounds about right. You should be able to see a few per minute. Um, so I'm going to see here if I can show you guys something. Just show you guys here. So here was the reconnaissance plane that flew around Cuba. This was what, yesterday? I can't remember. I think this was yesterday. Um, and this is pretty rare, to have one of these flying around Cuba. It's not that common. Um, I haven't seen this in a long time. So something is going on here in Cuba. What's going on? I have no idea. But this reconnaissance plane was sent out from Stratcom, which is like the most important base in the country. And if they're sending something out of Stratcom, that means that it's a national priority mission. It's like it's like the headquarters. It's like the headquarters of the whole military there. So if they're sending something from Stratcom, that means that it's something serious. It's a national priority mission. And so they sent this thing to Cuba, and it was flying around Cuba. Very, very interesting here. Let's just zoom in so you can see what it did. It did like this loop here, flying along the northern Cuban coast, probably checking to see if there's any potentially Russian subs here. That's why it did that loop here, because they can look to the side of the plane and they can scan a couple hundred miles away. So it was probably checking the northern Cuban coastline, and then it went around here into like the bay. I guess that's the Bay of Pigs, right? Bay of Pigs, maybe. Yeah, that's the Bay of Pigs, and it went in there and then came back out. So probably checking to see if Russia's moving any assets into that country, because who knows? Russia could move some missiles there. We could have another Cuban Missile Crisis, or maybe the next Cuban Missile Crisis will happen in Belarus because they moved those missiles into Belarus. It's just a lot of crazy stuff going on. So could be the Chinese also. Yeah, it could be the Chinese. Could be Chinese, could be Russian. I know the Russians have submarines there. I don't know if the Chinese are doing anything in Cuba. I really doubt the Chinese are moving anything into Cuba. It's possible they might, but they don't have a huge navy, Like Russia has a much bigger navy than China, so they can afford to move stuff around. China's still building their military up. Yeah, the meteor shower is going on right now. Yes, there's a meteor shower right now. Um, Mama of Six says the prophecy Israel would become a nation. Yep, that the Bible does say that the end times would begin once once the Jewish people return to Israel. That's what the Bible says. So we're already in the latter days right now. We're in the last days according to the Bible, because the Bible says once the Jews return from around the world back to the Holy Land, that would be the beginning of the end times. So, I'm not trying to sound negative or like, oh, the world is going to end tomorrow or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, um, that's the era that we're in. So So a lot of stuff going on. The past 2 weeks have just been crazy with all this stuff going on in Belarus and Poland, and this week all the doomsday planes, and then there was also a water leak in the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine. There was a water leak, and then one of the steam turbines was leaking. One of the steam turbines was leaking out, so there's some issues there at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. uh so something is going on with one of those reactors. I think it was reactor number 4 that had those steam issues and water leaks and stuff. Now the Ukrainian energy company Energoatom said today that the cooling pond at the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is still maintaining its normal level, that the levels are not really dropping much. So that's good news, but it could also just be uh, like not lies, but just like when Russia was about to invade, the Ukrainian government was telling people that they're not going to invade and stuff because they didn't want people to leave and they didn't want to cause panic and stuff. So that could be another thing. That's why they're saying, oh yeah, the cooling pond is not going down, but that's what the Ukrainian energy company is saying, that the cooling pond hasn't really gone down. What's going on, John Hoover? How's it going? Great to see you. Maybe it's not Cuba, but the passages into the Gulf of Mexico. Historically, in World War II, Germany sent subs into the Gulf of Mexico to disrupt shipping of oil and fuel. Yeah, that's very possible. Yeah, that's very possible. But the only thing is, it went all the way around Cuba and then it did a loop here. So I'm not sure. I'm sure it's probably a combination. It's probably checking this whole area. Probably, like you said, checking these passages here, checking the Gulf of Mexico, but also keeping an eye on Cuba. Probably doing a variety of things. So let's see. I'm gonna just go back to the El Nino forecast for a second, because I think that's pretty important. I want to see. You obviously got to take everything that the government says with a grain of salt, but I want to see what their forecast is. We should be like at the peak now of this El Nino. I mean, it's looking pretty strong. I mean, look at this. These are the sea surface temperature anomalies. I mean, this is very warm water here, so we should be like right around the peak of the El Nino, and it should start to level off and then start to go down. Um, we'll have to wait and see. They have right now a 90% chance that the El Nino will continue through Northern Hemisphere winter, but how strong it's going to be when it comes through the winter, we'll have to wait and see. So what this could mean, if you're watching me from the northeastern U.S., the midwestern U.S., that means that the winter's not going to be super cold this year. Uh, Theoretically, there's not going to be as many Arctic outbreaks, and there's not going to be a lot of coastal storms, um, like nor'easters and stuff. You know. Let's see what else is it saying here. See what the outlook is saying. So yeah, they have it 80 to 90% chance that it's going to persist through the winter. A lot of the model predictions are showing that the El Nino is going to persist like through February, but it looks like it's going to peak out next, probably in October or November. It's going to peak out, and then it's going to start to go down and weaken. So, we'll have to wait and see. But it looks like this winter might be less eventful winter as far as snow goes. Might be a little bit warmer and less snow, and I'm sure you're going to hear people saying, "Oh, it's global warming," and because you watch my channel, you're going to know why that is, and it's not because of carbon emissions and all that. Um, John Hoover is already in Ukraine, as far, not Ukraine. Yeah, are you? No, he's in Romania now. He's in Romania. Yeah, now they're talking about aliens. That's right, XNYC. They're talking about aliens now. It's crazy with this alien. These briefings that they've been having about aliens. It's really crazy stuff. I feel like it's just a big distraction. It's almost like entertainment. Like they want to give us some kind of entertainment or something. It's, I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it. I just find it strange that all of a sudden now they're going to start doing these briefings and spilling the beans on everything after 100 years of secrecy. They're going to suddenly start spilling the beans. It just doesn't make any sense. Um, Climate change has become a religion. Yeah, it's true. I know. They want everybody to ride bikes and ride bikes everywhere, and you know eat vegan food all the time. That's what they want. I have nothing wrong with vegans, but you know they want everybody to be a vegan. You know, and they think somehow that's going to save the planet. And all the war on dairy and meat. Everybody. All these doctors and experts saying, "Oh, meat is bad for you, dairy is bad for you, milk is bad," and I feel like that's just they want to kill the meat and dairy industry basically and get people away so they don't buy it anymore. And if they can just convince people that with some kind of scientific study that meat causes cancer and dairy causes inflammation, and then people are going to stop buying it, and then the dairy industry, meat industry is going to take a hit. Uh, so I love dairy. Somebody here says dairy isn't good for you. I've been eating dairy my whole life, and I'm very healthy. You can talk to my doctor. My blood pressure is below what it's supposed to be. Actually, I have very low blood pressure, low resting heart rate, low cholesterol, and I've been drinking a glass of milk since I was a baby every single day. I eat Greek yogurt almost every night. A lot of it. I don't have any health problems. So I think it depends. If you're lactose sensitive or something, then yeah, of course dairy is bad for you. But there's no evidence saying, yeah, milk is bad for everybody. We should all stop drinking milk. That's BS. That's BS. I don't believe that, and I don't care what any study says, because I can tell you from my own personal experience that I've been drinking milk literally every day my whole life, and I've never had any problems. And eating Greek yogurt almost every day for the last 20 years, never had any problems. So, you know, uh, yeah, I love milk too. I love milk. Milk is so tasty. I love it. Whatever films and photography says same. I don't care what people eat, just don't push anything on me. If you want to be a vegan, I have nothing wrong with that, but don't force me to be a vegan. If you want to ride a bike 50 miles to work every day, that's fine. Do it. I don't care. Just don't force me to do that. If you're against, if you think people shouldn't own firearms and you hate guns, that's fine. But don't force me to believe the same thing you believe. And that's what really agitates me about a lot of liberals, is that they're very they're hypocritical, because you know they say that Republicans and conservatives are telling them how they should live their life, but they're doing the same thing. They're pushing gun control and pushing all these different agendas on us, and forcing people to live the way they live, which I think goes against our Constitution. Our Constitution says we all have the right to live how we please, how we see fit, as long as we're not, committing any crimes. We have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But anyway, I'm ranting. I'm getting off on a tangent here. Um, Let me see if I have anything else to share with you, but that's pretty much the breaking news. Just a lot of stuff going on the past week or so. I wanted to go live and talk to you guys live, because I haven't been live in a while. So, and we have these nuclear war communications planes in the air right now, three of them. I mean, or two. Uh, there was a one in the air earlier. So, NATO is definitely on high alert. The U.S. is definitely on high alert. And Poland is on high alert. The Russian ruble is dropping. We'll have to wait and see if it continues to drop or not. But the Russian ruble is not doing too good. Just look in the last month, it's really crashed dramatically here. Um, I mean, it's not doing good at all. So, there could be a financial collapse in Russia, even. I mean, you can see that the ruble is doing almost as bad now as it did when the war started. I mean, it's just tanking. So, if the ruble crashes, that could push Putin to do something desperate. He could resort to weapons of mass destruction. Because he might feel like, desperate, like the economy's crashing. Um, he might try to do something drastic. So we have to keep an eye on that. Uh, so I'm just going to open up the chat for a few minutes and see what you guys are saying here. Um, and then I'm going to wind down the stream, because it's Saturday night, and I'm going to try to do more live streams. I know a lot of you guys were saying you missed the live streams. I'm sorry about that. I've just been so busy. But I'm definitely going to try to do more. So, but I wanted to just come on here and chat with you guys a little bit. It's always cool spending a Saturday night with everyone. Um, XNYC Prepper says, I'll never comply till the day I die. Earth Angel Anna, what's going on? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of milk. That's funny. That's hilarious. Country Christian, great to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great weekend. Lorna says, hit the thumbs up. Things are getting crazy near the border. Yeah, I'm sure they are getting crazy. See you later, Smoking Swamp. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Someone said thousands of cattle are dying in the Midwest. That's interesting. I wonder why. Thomas Miller says, thank you for everything. Dziękuję bardzo. No problem, Thomas. Lactose intolerance is no joke. Yeah, if you're lactose intolerant, then of course dairy is not good for you. But if you're not lactose intolerant, I mean, I don't think milk is bad, in my opinion. If you're drinking organic milk, I think it's actually good, you know. You got protein, fat, vitamin D, calcium. Maddie Grace, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for tuning in. Sammy, thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate that. Mama of Six says my son-in-law is lactose intolerant. Redneck Prepper says goat milk is easier to digest. Yeah, I've had goat milk before. I'm not a huge fan of goat milk. For some reason, I just don't like it. It has a very gamey taste to it. I mean, it's good. It's definitely healthy. I just personally, I can't drink it. It's just too gamey for me. Maybe the one that I had just wasn't a good one, but I thought milk does the body good, strong bones. Those were commercials when we were little. Yes, they were. When I was a kid, they had the milk does the body good commercials all the time. Almond milk. Yeah, almond milk is good. Almond milk is good for sure. Almond milk can be a little tough on the digestive system. Some people are sensitive to almond milk. In that case, oat milk is better. Oat milk, in my opinion, oat milk is probably the most gentle type of milk you can get. Earth Angel Anna says breast milk. That's funny. I have some goat milk in cans. Never had it, but I wanted it in my storage cupboard. Yeah, goat milk is pretty good. It just has a little bit of like a gamey taste to it. JP says good night. Good night, JP. Thanks for tuning in. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to share with you before I go. I don't think so. I think I pretty much covered everything tonight. Vivian says, gotta go. Hemiplegia, migraine hitting. I'll catch the replay. Blessings to Greg and chat. Thank you, Vivian. I appreciate that. Yeah, oat milk is very good. I actually really love oat milk. I like it better than almond milk, actually. Oat milk is fantastic. It has a really good taste to it. I would say oat milk and regular milk are my favorites. You know what I like to do with oat milk? If you have a little bit of maple syrup, take like maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and put it in that oat milk and mix it up. It tastes so good. It tastes like you're drinking like maple syrup milk. It's really good. Give that a try. Oatly is a good name brand for oat milk. You can get it at Whole Foods. NYPrepper says, perfect practice makes perfect. Don't get sloppy. Get your house in order before it's too late. I agree 100%. The Tonga eruption last year and how it's going to be affecting weather patterns the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah, I have to read more about that eruption. A quick summary of the stream before I go back and watch it. Yeah, basically, we have some nuclear war communications planes that are in the air tonight. There were two of them. And then there was one earlier in the day, and just a lot of stuff going on. We also have the Polish defense minister saying today that moving the troops to the border of Belarus was primarily a deterrence action. And he met with the Polish troops today that went to the border. Angela Dunn says Greg has proclaimed his faith for many years on his channel. Stop testing him. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks to all the moderators. I appreciate you guys. Jacqueline, James, everybody in here. Mama of Six. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, there's some nasty people out there, you know. It's unfortunate, you know, but XNYC Prepper says, much love to you, brother. Thank you, XNYC. I appreciate that. Much love to you as well. I got to swing by your area one day. I was supposed to swing by over the summer, but I haven't had a chance. But I might be swinging through sometime in the next month or two. Your area is really nice. I like your area. It's very quiet there. It's probably one of my favorite areas in New York, actually. To be honest, one of my favorite spots in all of New York. Redneck Prepper, thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Amiga Rule says, great show. Thanks, everybody. SC Ladybug says, coffee with oat milk and honey. That sounds really good. Yeah, I love oat milk and coffee. That's a great combination. Thomas Miller says, we must stand together. Amen. We definitely have to stand together. So, you know, what kind of preps are you guys working on? You know, what are some things you guys are doing? Like for me, you know, I'm just actually in the process of redoing some of my bug out bags. You know, and I'm gonna try to go on a little bug out hike sometime soon. Andy says, good night from Afton, New York. I'm not sure where Afton is. Matt CC Stout says, thank you for all the hard work, Greg, and keeping us updated. No problem. No problem at all. XNYC Prepper says, my home is your home. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you live in a nice area there. It's one of my favorite spots in New York, honestly. A lot of memories there from when I was a kid, you know, learning how to hunt, and my first days hunting and spending time in the outdoors was in you know, your area. So thanks. I appreciate that. What's going on, Michael Gale? Survival Chick, how's it going? It's been a while, but I'm still here following you after many years. Thanks for still keeping up these great videos. You really helped me during the pandemic with all your knowledge. No problem, Survival Chick. It's great. It's great to still have you here. Man, it's been a long time. Wow. I can't believe how many years it's been. Vision Preparedness says bug out weekend in Ohio next spring. I'm gonna put that on the list. This year was a little tough for me, but I'm gonna try to make it next spring. I think I should be able to. Definitely gonna put that on my list. I have a small company that sent me some EMP protection stuff. I'm gonna be doing a review soon of some like EMP bags of like a small company, a small business. They specialize in making EMP bags. So I'm going to do a video review of that. You should see that this week. Really nice, like EMP bags that are basically Cordura, and they're lined with Mylar. So Very cool stuff. Great to put in your bug out bag. And because they're made of Cordura, they're tough. They're not going to like rip apart or anything like regular Mylar EMP bags. So I'm going to do a review on that soon. Uh, Vision Preparedness says, I will let you know the dates. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, as soon as you have it all planned out, let me know. XNYC Prepper says, I was at the gym and somebody recognized me as XNYC. I can't believe it. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, it's crazy. I know how you feel. It's a crazy feeling. Um, Michael Gale says, Greg, I'm really glad you are helping people to get prepared, brother. I really appreciate that. No problem. No problem at all. I really enjoy it. So thanks to the mods. I see the mods are kicking someone out. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. What's my max bench press? Right now, my max bench press, it's nowhere near what it used to be. I think I haven't done a max in a while. I'm probably like around 385, I would say, for a single, which is like nowhere near what I used to do. When I was powerlifting, I was doing like crazy weights. I would do like 315 for 22 reps. Uh, I used to do decline. I would do 365 for 20 on the decline with no spotter by myself. That was like, long time ago. But yeah, bench was actually never my best lift. I mean, I'm a decent bencher, but I was always a deadlift and squat guy. I have longer arms, so pressing movements were always tough for me. But I had an American record in the deadlift and a New York State record in the deadlift. I squatted 700 pounds with just knee wraps and a belt. Um, I think I could still. I think I can still deadlift 700 with no belt. I haven't gone that heavy in a little while, but I usually go up to like 600 and do reps. Jack Cull, my husband is from PA. The mountains are lovely. Yeah, PA has some really nice scenery. It's all just mountains and hills and farms in between. It's really very scenic and very pleasant. Pennsylvania is beautiful. So is Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee. I have family in Tennessee. Tennessee and Pennsylvania, they look very similar. Like if you're driving through, they're very similar. Like the way they look, like a lot of hills, a lot of farms. Very similar terrain. Except of course, like Eastern Tennessee, which is very high mountains, like 6,000-foot mountains. Roan Mountain. Eric Elliott, thank you for that donation, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, like Pennsylvania, Tennessee, they're almost identical, like the way they look. Just different climate, but similar culture. Um, what's this dollar chart? This is the ruble to the U.S. dollar. So the ruble is collapsing right now. Look at the ruble, how low it's going. This is for the past year. The ruble is collapsing, and in the last 5 days, it's really crashed dramatically. It's really crashed dramatically. Look at that. So the ruble is going down. Angie A says we just converted one of our backyard downspouts to a rain collection. That's great. Yeah, you can buy those special things that you put on your downspout, and it funnels the water into your drums, your water drums. It's very good to have. I really should set one of those up. Actually, I have a small stream nearby, so that's why I don't bother. If I ever needed water, I could just go there. XNYC Prepper says I'm on bodybuilding grandpa now. It's never too late. Yeah, it's never too late. Yeah, it's not even just that. It's just maintaining your health. It's like the older you get, maintaining your health is like the number one thing more than anything else. And I mean, lifting weights and exercising is good because it strengthens your bones. It gets the blood going. You work your aerobic capacity, you work your lungs, you're oxygenating everything. So yeah, it's critical. It's good that you're still doing it. I heard Poland is buying a lot of gold. Yes, Poland bought a ton of gold recently. Um, what currency does Ukraine use? I'm pretty sure they use the hryvnia. I haven't been to Ukraine yet, but I'm pretty sure it's the hryvnia. Um, Lorna says K predicted the ruble crash. Says it will get worse. Yeah, he's an expert economist. That's his thing. So I mean, it's bound to get worse. I just can't see how they can how they're not going to how that currency is going to not crash. I mean, this war is so expensive for them, and you know, all the sanctions. It's just inevitable, in my opinion. Um, it's just the fundamentals. SC Ladybug is asking if my knees are still good. Yeah, my knees are great. My knees, my back, my shoulders, pretty much everything. Yeah, my neck. Um, I've never had any major injuries, thank God. All the years of lifting, I had some minor sprains and stuff, but nothing crazy. I'm very fortunate, and I'm also very careful too. I'm very careful when I lift, so that's why I never really got injured. Mr. Landfill says, "Gotta log out. Everyone be safe. Have a good night, Mr. Landfill." Oh, off grid desert farming. What's going on, dude? I hope you're doing well. Popping in at the last minute. The heat wave is terrible. We are finally getting some rain here after 8 months. Wow. That's crazy. 8 months? That's insane. That's crazy, man. Wow. Yeah, it's brutal. The heat wave is just insane, and it's just not stopping. Um, you know, Look at all these excessive heat warnings in the southern states. Pretty much all the southern states are under excessive heat warnings. There's a lot of people here, a lot of big cities here. I mean, that's going to have an impact. You know, for those of you guys who don't know, Off Grid Desert Farming with Paul and Adrian, he's doing most of his content on Rumble now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's doing most of his content there. He's not doing much on YouTube anymore. He still does some stuff on YouTube, I think, but just not as often. So if you're interested in following him, he's doing a lot of his stuff over there. But he's still doing stuff on YouTube as well. Uh, Country Christian Georgia is horrific right now. Yeah, I bet it is. I can imagine it's probably really nasty, really humid and very hot. I can imagine impact on health and crops. Yep. Yeah, it's extreme heat. 2 people died in Texas with their dog from the heat. Really sad. Their air conditioner went out. Oh man. Yeah, Texas, man, it's tough. That heat over there is just ridiculous. Doesn't even go below 80 at night. I mean, that's ridiculous. You don't have a working AC, you're done for. Especially if you don't have any trees around you to give you any shade or anything. I mean, that's just ridiculous. When do you expect to see the kinetic warfare to start? Uh, the kinetic warfare, I mean, I don't know because I think something could happen with Poland and the Baltics this fall. I'm thinking like September, October, potentially. We could see some kind of provocations there with Wagner and stuff, and Belarus possibly. I think. And as far as Ukraine goes, I mean the counterattack, it seems to have fizzled out. It's they're not really gaining much territory, so Biden is asking for an emergency aid package. So I don't think we're going to see much going on in Ukraine for a little while. I think it's just going to remain kind of stable there for a little while until Ukraine gets the next big package, and then maybe Russia's going to try to do some of their own kind of counteroffensive. I'm not sure, but I think Ukraine is going to stay stable for a little while. Um, Maybe Ukraine is going to do something in the winter. Possibly they're going to try to do their counterattack in the winter. I don't know, because they have all those Swedish tanks, and the Swedish tanks are very light, and they're made for snowy conditions. They can float on the snow. So maybe they're going to do some kind of counteroffensive in the winter, possibly. I don't know, but right now I don't see any big counteroffensive in Ukraine at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if that changes, but I do think I'm very concerned. Honestly, I'm very concerned about Poland and the Baltics. I'm not trying to scare people and cause anybody to get scared, but I have a very bad feeling about that whole situation over there. You don't move 10,000 troops to the border if for no reason. Ex NYC Prepper, thank you for that donation, man. I really appreciate that. Have a cold one on me. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's awesome, man. Uh, Yeah, we got to meet up next time I go to New York. I'll try to swing by your area, and maybe we can meet up and hang out for a little bit. Jaybird says, "Keep up the good work, Greg." Thank you, Jaybird. I appreciate that. Um, so I don't know if Paul, if you're still here, off-grid desert farming. What kind of temperatures have you been seeing over there in Arizona? What type of day temperatures, night temperatures? What are you seeing over there? What are you experiencing? Ukraine needs those F-16s for air support to push forward with a counteroffensive. Yeah, that's right. Um, that's right. They need the F-16s, and that's what they said, that they need. They need the F-16s, and they said they're not going to do anything until they get them. So that's probably maybe why Ukraine is kind of paused their counterattack. Because they didn't get those F-16s yet, and they don't want to lose their men. Um, Someone said the video is frozen. I'll just shut my camera off. It's just lagging. We have storms coming through here now, so Angie A says, I think it's been the steady buildup over there, and trouble is looming. Big trouble. Yep, I agree. XNYC says it would be great if we could do a video together. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Doris says that's a lot of cold ones. Yeah, that is a lot of cold ones. That is. You're right. Well, the price of cold ones has gone up. Everything is getting more expensive now. So the price of cold ones is no longer as cheap as it used to be. I remember like when I was in college. I remember when I was in college and I would, go out to like a bar and the beers would be like $2-3, for like any beer, basic beer, not like any kind of like high end stuff, but just like, Budweiser or something. You could get one for like $2-3. Now it's like you go out to a bar and they charge you like 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 for a beer. It's crazy. Um, Not that I go out a lot or at all. Actually, I never go out, but not anymore. But you know, Lorna says Greg is showing a still picture of a map. Yes, it is a still picture. Off Grid says, "Hey, gotta go, everyone. Take care. Have a good one, Off Grid. I hope you're doing well. Stay safe and try to stay cool and drink some cool beverages and rest up. Get some good rest. It has been almost 100 degrees almost every day until the last few days. Now it is in the high 70s and 80s, which is a lot better. Okay, yeah, that is a lot better. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that, man. Um, Redbeard says, Greg, do you know anything about Wagner recruitment posters on city walls inside of Poland? Yes. Yeah, Wagner has been putting up stickers in Poland. I don't know who put those there, if that's legit or I don't know, but yeah, there's been like Wagner stickers put, in different cities across Poland. I wouldn't really look too much into that. I mean, could just be some fan or something that just put that there. My air conditioner up to 800. I'm not sure what that means. We had 110 here in Roswell. Wow, 110. That's insane. I just can't believe that. That's just ridiculous. 110 degrees. Absolutely crazy. D Glass says, don't worry about it. The people that should be worried that live far enough away from the primary targets live in the fallout. $8 for hair conditioner. Oh, hair conditioner. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Shampoos are getting expensive. Jack Call says, I'm afraid for Poland and Latvia. Yeah, Latvia also moved their equipment to the border of Belarus, also. Not just Poland, but Latvia, the same thing. Um, so, not too expensive to brew your own beer. Interesting. I have to look into how to do that. Um, Angie says, I have a close friend in the military on the Polish border, so I've been watching close. Oh, wow. Wow. So I think I'm going to wind down the stream, guys. I got to go do some stuff, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Um, but it was great hanging out with you guys, and I'll do more of these. I don't know what day of the week is the best, but seems like Saturday night is a good night to do it. Maybe I'll do another one next Saturday or something. Aspen English says, thanks, Greg, for all you do. No problem. Lorna says, good night. So thanks to all the moderators. You guys are awesome. Jacqueline James, Mama of Six, Lorna. I appreciate you coming, Lorna. I know you had to do a double stream tonight with me and Pinball. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, So I'm going to be doing more live streams. I know a lot of you guys are saying that you missed the live streams. I'm going to do more. I just, I've been very busy. So I'm going to pick them up though this week. You should see more live streams this week. So I miss them too. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. I mean, I could be here all night. If I didn't consciously end the stream, I could hang out here and talk with you all night. I really enjoy it. So, thank you guys for showing up and hanging out. Um, it's nice to also have like not just doing like serious live streams like breaking news and emergency alerts, but it's also nice to just have like more laid back streams like now where we can just hang out and talk. I'm going to try to do more of those instead of just only streaming for breaking news. Um, don't forget the meteor shower. Yeah, meteor shower tonight. If you don't have any bad weather, we have storms here. So Michael Gale says, we love hanging out with you, Greg. XNYC Prepper says, good night, Greg and Rockstars. Much love. Much love, XNYC. So I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon. And Sammy Shasada, thank you for all your support, man. I appreciate that. Fernando says, thanks. What's going on, True Light? So have a good night, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. And till next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.